We made a run at the pre-market high, as usual, 47 and a quarter. That was right up there with Friday's or Thursday's high, and got turned back. And once we got turned back, we just kind of hung out mid-range on the session, and then get a little nervous that the talks aren't going well, right? And well, let me see here 1 second. The talks weren't going down well, and we went down and we made a low of the day, took out the pre-market low just by a tad, and then we came rip roaring all the way back as we usually do, trying to break into the 33.40 handle, which would be a new closing high for the rebound. In order to do that, we got to get above 45 and a half. So let me pull up the chart for you on that right now. I was not well prepared for you here, Spencer. So here's a
Sure.
look at the S&Ps. We'll see how they're doing. Chopping around here, down 5.5. But nice rally here. So, like I said, big number on the upside over the weekend will be 47 and a quarter. Crude's giving back a little bit, down 47 cents at 41.48. Finally, a little profit taking in gold. Gold down 27.40 at 20.42, but had to take a little breather on that one. Silver down 31 cents after getting up to 29.91 and a half. And Bitcoin following the precious metals. Bitcoin lower by $450 at 11,590.
All right, Joel. I want to start off with
The stock of the year.
one of the stocks of the year, Stamps.com, which this might be the greatest comeback, one of the greatest comebacks for a stock that I've ever seen. If you pull up the weekly chart, you will see those two major gap down days. First, there was the day where they lost the U.S. Postal Service contract, and I don't even remember what the second gap down was for. But regardless, it went from 200 to what like 35, and now
Well,
it's come all the way back.
and if we were listening to Ryan Craver, like we should, we would have been long this issue. He got caught on it a little bit early, after the first drop down, and then the second one. But he had a conviction buy on this one, and boy, oh boy, I sure hope he held on. New all-time high today. Blew it off. He had three monthly highs. This was back before it had the big decline. Boy, that was about as clear breakout on a monthly chart as you can get. Let me pull up the data window and let's see where this boy. We got all kinds of things going on here. You had three monthly highs right at 285. It broke out of that today and a new all-time high by a large margin. Congratulations to Stamps.com owners. S&Ps, they will not be denied here, going for that high of the day at 47 and a quarter.
Here's a question from the pre-market chat on Benzinga.com slash pre-market dash prep. If the stimulus package happens over the weekend, what kind of stocks would it impact? Tech or reopening? Any suggestions? Definitely reopening. I would think. I would go to airlines. I would go to Boeing. I would go to cruise stocks. I would go to retail, restaurants. That's where I would go if this were to happen, which it seems unlikely. But if it were to happen over the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I think they'll pretty much just buy everything if they
That's
come out
also
with.
true. They could just buy
Yeah,
everything. Yeah.
yep. That's what I think will happen if that comes in. I mean, you're always better, going with the best in breed, going with the strong stocks, and you are with the reopening stocks. But your Apple's having a little bit of a pullback today, so I don't. I just think if they do come through with that, it will just be a broad based rally. So, and I just go to tech, go to strength, go to stocks that have been doing well. S&P's right back up here near the highs of the session. We are green. Came all the way back here. So 47 and a quarter is that high.
All right. What about Fastly here? I saw there was some chatter about some analyst note or analyst activity this morning and today, and there.
Two day move,
I
Spencer.
guess.
2 day
Well, the
move.
analyst said that Fastly, or that ByteDance, the owner of TikTok, is one of Fastly's largest, or was Fastly's largest customer this quarter. So any headwinds for ByteDance could be a headwind for Fastly, but or you could just say that Joel, 2 day move. They got punished for their earnings for no reason, and they're gonna still punished here.
And at a risk of showing my age and non-internet knowledge, what's ByteDance?
ByteDance owns TikTok.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Uh, I looked at this one, and I think we talked about this one yesterday, and
Yeah,
it was definitely for a candidate for a 2 day move. I
for
mean, you
sure.
had that big rally. I say right now, if you're in Fastly, this is the area. This is the area that it absolutely has to hold here. What do we got for a low of the day? Low of the day comes in at 76.52. You go back here after you made that initial surge, you came back down to actually 73.87 was the low of the move. 73.87. I see another low at 76.51. So that's critical. It's got to hold that. Looks like we got a little bounce today, but if you're looking at a swing trade, you gotta respect that area. It's come down hard. You're gonna have some oversupply in the rally. I don't think it will just bounce right back up. But hey, it loses this 73, $74 area. Look out below. You could see 60, 50 in a heartbeat. But support is support until it's breached.
Hallie Reynolds in the YouTube chat. I think this comment was referring to Fastly. She said 12% of their revenue. I'm assuming it was referring to Fastly and ByteDance. So that's why I love our chat. We got some good info in there. So apparently ByteDance accounted for 12% of Fastly's revenue last quarter or this quarter. Not a good sign if they're going to face some regulatory headwinds. Let's talk about the movie theater stocks for a second, Joel. There are two
Getting a
of them. There are
boost.
two of them. AMC and Cinemark. AMC and CNK are the tickers on those. Ruling to come out today that studios can now own movie theaters if they want. I guess owning a theater ain't what it used to be, Joel. So the question, I guess, now is how long until Disney buys one of these guys?
Do they want it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's another question.
Yeah, I mean they did get a nice boost on it. I'm just not sure. I mean, if adding expenses, I mean, I maybe they could get it cheap, during this COVID here. And but I don't know. Those stocks are in prolonged downtrends. The ruling is good for them on that front, but I just don't know. I just don't. I mean, with the on demand with Netflix and everything, I don't know how hot these. I mean, just because you got the ruling doesn't mean that they're going to go out and make the acquisition. So
No, no.
that's what I'm. I wouldn't be buying these things, but in hope of that. But it is good news. It did get a pop today. Keep an eye on the pops where it got to today. It looks like Cinemark got over 1160 by a little bit, and AMC that got over 520, and that's pulled back. So look for continuation. It may happen, but there's no guarantee.
Joel, does WDC Western Digital look oversold to you? Ooh,
Does it look
that's a
oversold?
tough one.
What a tough term. Oversold and overbought. Because they can stay like that for a long time, right?
Yeah.
Um it took a I mean, you just got to lean on this low right here. I mean, if it's man, right on the low of the session. Boy, oh boy. So 36.50, that's only 40 cents away. I don't see any analysts coming out to defend this. You're man, right here, these two monthly lows, you're below that. Maybe see, maybe try and buy it on strength. You had a couple monthly lows at 37 and a half. Let it prove to you that you can get back over 37 and a half, hold 37 and a half, and maybe strike. If not, really your legitimate risk is down to this March low, and that's way down at 27.40. You could drill down on your dailies probably and find some individual levels, but just the term overbought or oversold. I mean, you could have said Apple was overbought right after its report, and look what it did, right? It ripped your face off. So Those are vague terms that I really don't like to use a whole lot.
Yeah, it can also generally those terms are also used to refer to like the RSI indicator. If you pull it up on your charts there,
Yeah, yeah.
if it's below 30 or above 70 or in between the two, right now the RSI in WDC is around 43, so it's squarely
Yeah, this is
in
Mr.
that range.
Technical
Look at
Analysis.
me, Mister Technical
Look at
Analysis,
its
Miss.
RSI stochastic moving average convergence divergence oscillator
Yeah, yeah.
daily. Yeah,
All those things. Hey, they all work if they work for you, right? It's about finding what works for you, and so they all can work. If you haven't experimented before with MACD or RSI, check it out. See if they're your cup of tea. They're not for everyone, but
nope.
they can work if they work for you, then they work for you. That's great.
You want to hear my Dennis impression?
Uh,
If I was going to write a book
yeah, here we go.
of technical analysis, it'd be double tops, double bottoms, triple tops, triple
Support or
bottoms.
resistance?
50, yeah, support resistance. Where's the trend? Is it going from right to left or left to right? That would be his technical analysis lesson, which I taught him very well. But no, if those things work for you, then go ahead and implement them. Just and he also tells the story of one of the traders in our bright office. He had so many indicators on his chart that
Yeah.
you couldn't even tell where the price was. So go with what works for you is what
Yep.
I like to say.
All right, Michael P. in Miami. Question for you. What happened to the quote safe boys today? Then he lists a few stocks there: Amazon, Facebook, Microsoft, and Overstock. I don't know if I would put Overstock in that group, Michael. But the point still stands. What happened to that group today? What happened to tech?
This is all about rotation in
Yeah,
this
that's all.
market. And today I mean, it's down $10. Look at the run that's Apple had. I mean, people, come on, don't be so
What
greedy. You got to have
what more
pullbacks.
do you want?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, is this the start of something terrible and Apple's going down? I don't know. I would just tell you that I would look at the pair of lows that you got here, and on the daily, there. How close are they? 440. I mean, if you're worried about Apple, you're worried about your long or short term portfolio. You see, you got two lows at 439.19 and 441.17. That means someone's staking the 440 level. You're $5 away from that. Certainly, you could see some more downside on that if you take out that level. Amazon, I mean Amazon. What more do you want from this stock? It kind of it hasn't been reacting great after earnings. You know what you would think it would do, but what the heck, man? This thing has a nice run. It is banging up against the door here. You got three highs in the same area, but you backed off. So 32.50, let's call it. The highs are between 32.40.81 and 32.46, but that's the passage to all-time highs. And that also was a high back in this area in July after it came off. So someone's trying to work out of a piece there. That's it. And as far as support, that 3,100 had a pair of lows 2 days in a row right at 3,100. So taking a little breather. These stocks are allowed to do that.
Hey, this Neo chart. I have not looked at Neo for maybe a week or two. This Neo chart's interesting.
It's interesting.
I
NIO. Oh, I put IO. Let's
Yeah,
see here.
yeah, NIO.
And
That's not a cup and handle, right? That's not quite a cup and handle.
yeah, it's
It's
kinda.
like
It's
a
kinda.
little bit.
Yeah. It had a big run to pull back. Held that gap area nicely. I mean, I'd really like to see this clear 14. I see that 4 day high just over 14, and then you kiss 14, and then back above it. So it looks, and it had problems there right after it came off the high. So keep an eye on 14, NIO, more follow through. Got to get above that
Yeah.
level.
All right, 3:56 here. Got a little under 4 minutes left in today's session. Stock just sort of hanging out here. The S and P
Yeah,
500.
hanging out near the highs of the session,
Yeah,
Spencer.
yeah, hanging out near the
We're
highs. Hanging out near the highs.
let's you want to do a Rocket Mortgage update or Rocket Mortgage?
Sure. I have
Rock.
not looked at Rocket Mortgage. I've got it's bad enough that everyone in Detroit's talking about it. I don't own this stock. I feel like I'm the only person in Detroit that doesn't own this stock. But how is Rocket Mortgage doing today?
To the moon, Alice.
Okay,
Do you know what
great.
that's from? If you know this, Spencer, I'll really be proud of you.
To the moon, Alice.
Yeah,
That
to the
sounds
moon.
that sounds like it's a wonderful life, but it's not right.
No, it's not a
No,
wonderful life.
no.
It's from an old TV show. I know someone in our chat's gonna get it. This is probably spit.
Bonanza. I don't know.
Come on. No, there you go. Ernesto Diaz got it. Honeymooners.
Alice.
Jack,
Right,
yeah, Jackie
Alice.
Gleason,
Right, right,
one of the
right.
greatest comedians of all time. But anyways, boom, boom, boom. So made a high, just under $27. Sold off. Got through the closing price from. Did it get through the closing price from yesterday? What was the close in Rocket? Only 2 days worth of price
Yeah.
action. 20. What was the close? It got to 22.66, which this is kind of. I mean, I know it's hard to call technicals on this one, but yesterday's high 22.76 higher open. You came down. You filled that gap by 10 cents, and boom, you turned around, back up, close to the 24 handle. Coming out a little bit less volume yesterday, unless we get a flurry here in the last 2 minutes. But good day here. Good day for Rocket. Old time high, 26.87. Poised to post an all-time closing high here by over $3. So let's keep the momentum going in
All
RKT.
right, just for awareness, I'll give you some stocks reporting or companies reporting earnings Monday morning. SeaWorld, a couple of energy plays, Schrodinger, Duke Energy out Monday morning. What else am I seeing in the Benzinga Pro?
Boring.
I see Marriott, I think, in there. So
They're
that could be.
complaining about my mic, Spencer. They're saying,
Workhorse. Yeah, I know. We're using a new software, so we'll get the mic things worked out over the
okay,
weekend.
sorry.
Workhorse is Monday. That's interesting to some people.
Yeah.
WKHS. Don't see a ton though. At least, but not before the market. Monday morning is typically a quiet
Ooh,
day
look at
for
this
earnings.
consolidation station here in this
Ooh.
one. Look at that. Oh, coiling. No one knows what to do with Workhorse. TradeTheRange.com in this today. Matching highs almost, let's see, and matching lows. 1740 yesterday, 1738 today. Yesterday's low, 1636. Today's low, 1630. And if you're that kind of trader, sometimes, unless you got a big, strong stock like Apple, you get a pre-earnings run. But sometimes you just work around the edges, and people trying to square up ahead of the report. That's what you certainly had in Workhorse today.
All right. I think that'll be a wrap for us. We got less than a minute here, Joel. Any final thoughts before we just
Market's
go our separate
trying. It's
ways?
trying. It's trying to
All right.
post a new, not all-time closing high, but a new high for the rebound. Looks like we're going to get it. Buyers on the close here. Still knocking on the door. 47 and a quarter was your high, your pre-market high. We touched that this morning, 46.75. So there's really the only number you got on the upside. I don't know if I put my sheet away, but the all-time high basis the front month contract here would be 33.75.75. So that's definitely within shouting distance for tomorrow session
All
or
right.
Sunday night session.
That's a wrap. Please remember all the information from our show meant to be used as informational purposes, not for investing or trading advice. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We very much appreciate that. Everyone have a great weekend. We'll be back with you on